Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I hope you are all doing well. Do you know what? I thought I would just do a bit of an impromptu live stream because there's loads for us to discuss. After yesterday's watch along, I was a pretty tired guy. Loads of news came out, loads for us to ponder. Jesse Marsch did a press conference, revealed some things about some current players, revealed some things about maybe having conversations with Radrizzani about potential transfers, etc. So I wanted to just come live, have a chat about that. I guess there's no, I've got loads of notes, right? But there's no sort of like running order. We're just going to chat about everything and anything because, like I said, we've got a week to go now. We've got a week, well, less than a week. It's game day week. Monday, it's game day week, right? On Saturday, we will play our opening Premier League game against Wolverhampton Wanderers at Ellen Road, right? So there's loads for us to get involved. Please, as always, as Derek says in the chat, please do smash a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Get your comments in. Hit that notification bell. We're looking, to get to 20k before the end of the year. That's the plan. Hopefully, I can do that. While we wait for some more people to join us, as I'm sure they will, because they are avid viewers of the Just Joe Football Show. I'm just going to tweet out now that I am live now. Okay, so people are aware of this. Over 100 people in the chat. Big up to you all. Please do smash a like on the video. Big up Patrick. Gabe says it's Carnival Day in Barbados. I hope you're having a good time. Listen, we're going to talk about Cali Mwendo. We're going to talk about Martin Terrier. We're going to talk about Che Adams. We're going to talk about current players, Rodrigo, Click, Somerville, Gelhardt. We're going to talk about the left-back scenario. We're going to talk about Jesse Marsch. We're going to talk about injuries. There's loads for us to get our teeth into, all right? Remember, it's just going to be wall-to-wall from this point forward in terms of this channel, because it's just football season, yeah? On Thursday, we've got the Premier League predictions. Myself and the rest of the crew are going to make some bold predictions for the season ahead. Wednesday, we've got midweek fix. We'll do our Leeds United predictions for the season. So, there's loads to get your teeth into. So big up to you all. I hope the small amount that watched the watch-along highlights from pre-season, I hope you liked that. If you did indeed watch it, it might not be your bag. It is what it is. I put it out there because I like it. You know what I mean? United says we are definitely buying a left back this week. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? We shall see. We might even get three. Which did pique me a little bit just based on Jesse Marsch's comments. Should we start with Jesse Marsch's comments? That's what we'll do. Jesse Marsch, obviously, after the game, was asked a number of questions in the press conference. I will give you an update on Sinistera as well, Tom. We've got injury updates as well. Jack Harrison as well. Apparently, Leeds United have rejected a bid from Newcastle. They're just now re-inputting a bid of 50 million for James Maddison, Newcastle. So, they're making moves. And maybe if they get James Maddison, they'll then come back in for Harrison. We'll have to wait and see. But we could have free signings, right? So Jesse Marsch obviously did the post-match press conference and basically said that he will have transfer talks with Leeds United owner Andrea Radrizzani this week. Okay, so this week, maybe today, could be tomorrow, but at some point this week, he will sit down with Andrea Radrizzani and they will have a chat about the final additions to the squad. Okay, he said, up until this point on previous signings, the club have done a really good job to secure the players that they did, so that they can be integrated into the team while they're away in Australia. And we've seen yesterday against Cagliari, Christensen, Aronson, Rocker, Adams, they don't look out of place, like a hand in a glove. They fit perfectly, right? So that trip away, getting them in as early as we have, has helped, has worked. Of course, Leeds United would have liked a striker in the door to go away to Australia, but obviously CDK has opted for Milan, so that isn't going to happen. So that wasn't going to happen. But he did say that, them new signings have made us really strong. And that's where we're at right now. He said, we now need to be cleverer about who to make as our next additions. And that's why they're sitting down. And of course, Toby have reminded me Aronson as well. A. Ronson. Let's not forget about him. He was amazing yesterday. I wanted the Medford Messi. So he said, look, and this is Jesse Marsch's words verbatim. He said, if we make 2 or 3 more, 2 or 3 more. So that's an interesting point. 2 or 3 more. Yeah. The 2, you're thinking striker, you're thinking left back. The 3rd, not too sure. Maybe they feel they need additions from a creative standpoint. If they go for out-and-out striker like a Kalimawendo, do they want a winger? You know, is it a goalkeeper, as Hill Football says? Is it a goalkeeper? Potentially. But he did say if we make 2 or 3 more, we need to be confident that they're as good as the other guys. Yeah. He said we want to make some additions. We want to make some additions, and we have some targets. Yeah. We have some targets. And we've wanted the last few weeks to really evaluate these targets. Have a look at the options that are there. Now, if we think about the players that have been linked, that have been credible links, which players are they evaluating? Well, Kalimawendo's got to be one. He's got to be one. I hope Martin Terrier is one. I think Shea Adams will be one. Look, 99.9% of people in the comments don't fancy that move, and that's fine. I do, but that's my opinion. You know, yesterday, Phil Hay said no. Today, in his article, he's saying they do like him. They may revisit it towards the end of the window if they can't get the targets they want. So that opinion on Shea Adams has changed slightly already, just from when it was originally mentioned to now maybe doing some digging after the game to find out, yeah, we do like him, but we might revisit it towards the end of the window. But they're evaluating targets. Who are they evaluating at left back? Is Philip Max one of them? Is it Wilson Esbrand at Manchester City? Is there other left backs? I think it'll be a young left back. I think it'll be a loan, personally, and I'll give you my reasons as to why I think that'll be the case. But he said we've spent the last week really evaluating things, yeah, and we need to be prudent on future decisions, he added, yeah. Hopefully, that's not a great word, but he said, hopefully, this week we will make some final decisions and make some final moves, yeah. So that was what Jesse said verbatim. So him and Victor, I'd imagine, have probably been in conversations, yeah, looking at players, evaluating them. Now Radwazani's back in Leeds. Now he's back at Four Parch. Now he's back at Ellen Road. They're going to sit down and say, right, these are the ones we want. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Are we going to make some moves? In an ideal scenario, Leeds United get at least two deals done this week. But we really need one. We definitely need a left back for me. We definitely need a left back. But some final decisions and some final moves, hopefully, will be made this week. Yeah, that's what Jesse said, right? Hopefully, the meetings with Andrea Radrazani go well and we see some additions come in. Yeah. Now, we know that we need to sign a striker, and we'll chat about that a little bit later on. But let's talk about the left back scenario first of all. Obviously, Pascal Strout got the nod yesterday. He played really well there, I thought. Defensively, still not great because he's not a natural left back. I think overall, though, defensively, the team don't look great. In defensive transitions, they don't look great. Yeah. But Pascal Strout got the nod and he looked okay. But let's not forget it was Cagliari and they still opened us up a few times. You know, even Blackpool opened us up and Brisbane Roar opened us up. That's something we need to be conscious of. But you get called negative for just spotting them things. But I think it's clear to see. It's clear to see. But Pascal Strout got the nod at left back, yeah? So you would imagine he'll start there against Wolves. He will probably start there, right? Now, of course, the club said they didn't really want a left back. So if Firpo doesn't get injured, then I don't even think we go after a left back. I think the only reason we've gone after a left back is because he's got injured. Although us as a fan base would have said right from the dot, get a left back, the club have been forced into it because of the injury to Junior Firpo to his hip. Yeah. Now, what Marsh did say, and what's been reported in Phil Hayes' article, is that Marsh is adamant that Firpo will be his first choice left back when fit, regardless of who comes in the door. That's what he said verbatim, you know. He is adamant Firpo will be first choice left back when he is fit, irrespective of the new arrival. So what does that tell me? Again, this isn't ITK. This is me reading between the lines, yeah, putting 2 and 2 together. That makes sense as to reasons as to why we're going after a young left back. Why would we go out and shell a big amount of money on an individual if he isn't going to be first choice or at least challenge? He's basically said straight away there, Firpo's my number one regardless. Now, of course, like Jack says, if a new arrival comes in and does exceptional, then he has the opportunity to usurp Firpo. But I think logically, that leads me to believe that the club will be looking at youngsters. You know, we've had Gutierrez linked at Real Madrid. I told you about the left back at Man United, Alvaro Fernandez, that I got told that Leeds United did have a look at. Now he's on loan at Preston. But, you know, I think that's why we'll go down that route. I do not see us spending a big amount of money on a left back if Marsh is saying Junior Firpo's my number one. Because if we spend a big amount of money, you know, let's not forget Junior's on a big wage as well. He's one of the highest earners, I believe, within the squad. You've then, if you were, right, let's look at Philip Max. Just before I do have a chat about Philip Max, I just want to say thank you to Michael Pollard, who has come a member of the Just Joe Football Show. Hi, Lisa, as well. Nice to see you back here. So, Philip Max, right? Originally, buzzing. Figures been touted out at around about 8 million, I think it was, if I remember rightly. My memory's not the best. It was only a couple of days ago as well. Great from set pieces. Bit of an assist king when he spent time in Germany. Second fiddle at PSV. But Mario Junior, who normally is a right back, but has been preferred on the left side of the defence, he's now injured and he's recovering from an injury. So Philip Max is going to be their number one left back. So PSV are on record as saying it will take a big offer. It will take a crazy offer if you want to take Philip Max from us. Yeah? So I don't see Leeds United, unfortunately, spending big money. Yeah? I don't see that. 8 million, yes, but if PSV are holding out for a bigger offer than that, it's a bit of a waste of money. Now, I don't believe it's a waste of money to replace Firpo. That's just not my opinion. Is we should have someone better, right? But I'm thinking logically from the club's angle. Jesse Marsh has said he's my number one left back. Victor Orta is big on his reclamation projects. They don't want to lose face. Same with Rodrigo, and we'll talk about Rodrigo very, very soon. Same with Rodrigo. They want to make these players work. Yeah, they believe they work. I've just got to put password in because my Mac needs to do an update later on tonight. I'll do that later. Go away. Thank you. That was a proper. So they want to obviously make Firpo work, right? So there's no need in then going out and spending big money on a guy who's on similar wages if they're going, if they see Firpo as number one. So for me, if we get a left back, I'd put quite a lot of money on it being a youngster from maybe a top six side, potentially. I think if Man City can get Cucurella, and I know Chelsea have entered the race, but Chelsea, I don't know, there's something dodgy with that Todd Bowley. Every big club that's linked to a big player, Chelsea throw the hat in the ring, probably knowing they're not going to get him, and he can say, I tried, because they're never winning these players. Surely Cucurella still goes to City. It's whether or not City give the money. But let's say Cucurella goes to City. You've then got Cancelo and Cucurella. So what happens then to Josh Wilson-Esbrand? Loan, potentially. There's the kid from Stoke, Josh Tyman. Again, it's money that will need to be spent. I think it's quite cheap, though. We'll have to wait and see. But I think I want to see us get left back. But if we do, I think it'll be on loan. And we'll be scouring the under-23s, looking at them potential incomings. I do think that's what we'll do. Whether you agree or disagree with that, is that the right tactic to have a youngster come in and fill that left back spot? because the facts are as well, like Firpo will get suspended, Firpo will get injured, you know, so we do need someone there. I do like Pascal. He did well last night, but like Harmony said in the chat, Cagliari are not great. Cagliari are not great. They've just been relegated. They also made 11 changes or whatever it was at halftime, which totally disjoints them. So I don't want to get too carried away at that. And my main concern is from the fullback areas, we look weak anyway. Not saying Christensen's weak. I just think defensively we look weak. Yeah, we look weak. So if we get caught with, I don't know, let's say Pedro Neto at Wolves is playing. I'm not sure. I don't think your man Trincão's there anymore. But let's say Adama. I don't rate Adama. But can you imagine Adama up against Pascal with how vulnerable we look at in the fullback areas? He's going to leave Pascal for dead. ST says Neto is class. Again, the same. Pedro Neto. I know they're without Jimenez, the main target man. But if we think just about Wolves in isolation, and we have Pascal there, he's not a left back, and he's not the quickest. And if Pedro Neto or Adama Traore is there, it's like it's game over. I'm sorry, people say I'm being negative, but when I have these conversations with people, you just think about some of the wingers that we'll go up against. Even if we dissected each team and the wingers they have, like Southampton, Gineppo. I don't rate Gineppo, but he's quick. He's tricky. Could he cause problems? Yeah, we've seen that last night with Cagliari, the number 9. I forget his name. He was so fast, and he was in. And then you have to think about them at the top of the table. Then you're talking Diaz and Salah. Game over, Leeds. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why we need a left back. We do need a left back, you know. Even at Chelsea, you'd think about the fullbacks, Chilwell, James. Like you could, I could go on. Yeah, I could go on, but I won't. Right, I won't. But we do need a left back, right? I think it'll be a youngster from one of the under-23s of some of the tech. Listen, Jason, I'd mentioned this. I would take this. He had a good spell at Newcastle. I forget where he was in Spain. He did really well in Spain. It'd be easy to get from Chelsea. It's an option. He can play forward as well, and he's good in attacking areas. People will be not happy with it, but it's an easy one to do. Fills a body. I said Nuno Tavares, and people were saying he's worse than Firpo, and I got battered on social media for it. But, you know, he's now gone to play at Marseille. He's saying he couldn't have done a job at Leeds. Arsenal didn't want to do a permanent on him. There's a reason, you know what I mean? So, yeah, Patrick Gibbs says, is he a left back? But he can play anywhere, really, Kennedy, alongside that left-hand side. And I think he'd be okay on loan. That's just my opinion. Let's move on to the striker now. Dest, heavily linked in the past, American and young. I think Barcelona want to keep him around, you know. I do think they want to keep him around. I'll just have a quick look on the old Twitter sphere on my notifications to see if there's been anything since then. It's just updating that Newcastle have had their improved bid for James Maddison, 50 million plus add-ons rejected, I think. But they're making moves. They are certainly making moves. Also, breaking news, Premier League clubs will not take the knee before every match after captains admitted the gesture has lost its gravitas, so there'll be no more taking of the knee. But yeah, Newcastle trying to make moves. Obviously, they've hit some stumbling blocks so far. Big up, Jack. So let's talk about the striker then, okay? So Darren says, just get Taylor. It's that simple. He can also fill in at centre-back. I wouldn't like to see him at centre-back. I know he played there at the weekend for Burnley and did well, but I don't know if it's his regular position, his wheelhouse. I'm not sure. They've got issues at centre-back, obviously, because of Ben Mee and Tarkowski both leaving, right? Both leaving. Yes, I know about Paxton Aronson. He is great. He's great. Someone Leeds United, so getting early. Cucurella news too as well, says Toby. Is there? I think that's Chelsea stuff, innit? I swear Chelsea are just bidding for players they know they can't get. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But, City are in for him. City will be his preferred move. They put in money. Oh, we tried. I'm not convinced about Chelsea and Todd Bowley. But we'll do our Premier League predictions on Thursday at 8 o'clock because on Friday the Premier League returns and I'll be doing a watch-along of Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. So make sure you join me for that. Right. Let's talk about the striker options. So, Callum Owendo, Phil Hayes done an article in The Athletic. We know Leeds United have an eye on Callum Owendo. They have done all summer. But as Phil said, there has been a lack of haste or a lack of speed in putting a deal together with PSG. How long now have we been linked to Callum Owendo? We know CDK is not happening. Why haven't we signed Callum Owendo? Maybe they're not convinced. That's what I will say on Callum Owendo. Do they want someone who's multifaceted, who can play a number of positions, can play off the right, can play off the left, can play through the middle? I would argue yes. That's why they're evaluating options. Remember, we said that Jesse said we've been looking, we've been evaluating. Now Radrazani's in the door. We'll now go through the options. Yeah. We'll now go through the options. Callum Owendo, I believe, will be one of them options, but the reluctance for Leeds to get a deal done, which can be done, I believe, at around between 20 to 22 million. We've got that money. If Leeds were 100% sold on it, surely that deal would already be done. Obviously, we know as well that interest is mounting in France. I think Rennes and is it Lens? No, Rennes and Nice. Rennes and Nice have both inquired. And Phil rounded off and said it shows that they are not ready yet to pile their chips on him. And I don't think it's about Callum Owendo preferring to stay put ST either. He's not going to get game time. Yes, he's done well in pre-season, but let's not forget ahead of him, he has Lionel Messi, he has Neymar, he has Mbappe, he has Icardi, and he has new signing Ekitike. The guy's not going to get game. He's not going to get game. It's all good Gaultier coming out and saying, oh, yeah, I've been impressed with him, etc. Of course he's going to say that because he knows clubs want him. He knows clubs want him. PSG do need to sell, as rich as they are. They still do need to sell. Someone mentioned Timo Werner. He's going out on loan. Why not look at him? Again, it's money, mate. Like Timo Werner will be on crazy wages. Crazy wages. Ivan Toney, I'd love Ivan Toney. I've said that. I would love Ivan Toney, but again, it'll be too expensive for Leeds. It'll be 40, 50. Brentford will want 40, 50 million for him. So Callum Owendo, we know they like, but there's been a reluctance to put the money forward. There's then Martin Terrier. Now, Martin Terrier, of the ones that have been mentioned, I'm probably most on board with. The one thing that worries me about Martin Terrier is the fact that it's one season. He's had one profitable season. Not being great prior to that, I don't think. I'm just going to check myself before I hang my hat on that, but I think I'm bang on the money. I am just going to check FB Ref now, and I'll be able to tell you his numbers over previous seasons. So matches played last season, 37, 21 goals, 3 assists. Amazing return, right? Amazing return last season. I think he scored more than both Messi and Neymar combined. He was the 3rd top scorer in Ligue 1. Did well, right? Prior to that, 9 goals. Season before that, 1 goal. Season before that, 9 goals. Season before that, 3 goals. Season before that, 1 goal. That's my only concern about him, is that his numbers prior to last season were not amazing. Now, you are right in saying that season, though, although it is a single season, it was an insane season. Exactly. You are right with that as well. He's everything. Like on FB Ref, again, I'm pretty new to using it, but like I'll show you. I'll share this with you so you can get a look. It's not like best looking website. But if you have a look here, there's a lot of greens, like in his percentile, like non-penalty goals, non-penalty XG, shots in total. It's all in the greens. Okay, assists not great, but like if we look at some of the other strikers, there's no one has this sort of like greenery, let's say. Do you know what I mean? And if you look at some of the players that they're comparing him with, this is what they believe are comparable. You know what I mean? These people that are doing these sort of numbers. If you look there, you've got the likes of Manny, etc. He has had a great season. So you know, don't get me wrong. It looks great. You know what I mean? It does look great, but it's prior to that concerns me. And then you also throw into the fact that he is 25. He is 25 as well. So it's slightly older than the rest of the targets we've been after. If you look at the age range of them, I think Mark Rocker might be the oldest our new signings, if I have a look. Even like Christensen's only 23, which is mad. Like, yeah, Mark Rocker's 25. All the rest of them are like 23. You know what I mean? Theo says that's young Joe. Yeah, maybe in terms of a striker, yeah, potentially. But if you look at the age profile about what Leeds United are bringing in, it is older. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got to think of the resale as well. If Martin Terrier comes in and has 3 good seasons, he's 28. Do you know what I mean? So it's harder to move them on than as opposed to, you know, someone who's coming 20, 21, you know, 3 years' time, they're still years ahead of him. Someone will buy them, put them on a 6-year contract, 5-year contract, etc. Age is a factor, especially when considering the resale model. And Andy, I'd love to be 25 as well, bro. But look, he had a great season last season. Not only that, only 2 players in Europe's top 5 divisions scored 10+ goals from inside the box and 5+ goals from outside of the box last season. Then 2 people were Terrier and Kevin De Bruyne. So it shows you just how profitable that season was. You know, he's got more than Messi and Neymar combined. He's the 3rd highest scorer in Ligue 1. His numbers are sick. And then obviously in terms of goals inside and outside of the box, only him and KDB put up these numbers. 10+ goals inside the box, 5+ outside of it. So everything there is like, yeah, man. That's why Martin Terrier would be my favourite. My only concern is obviously it's 1 season. We don't want to have a striker come in and it not work, you know, and him not adjust to the Premier League. You know what I mean? And he will be expensive because Phil here believes it'll cost in excess of 30 million. In excess of 30 million. Now, a lot of people will say, yeah, well, we had 30 million for CDK, but look at the profile of CDK. Look at the age of CDK. CDK's ceiling's much higher than a Martin Terrier. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. But the one thing with Martin Terrier as well, he has multifacets, yeah? In terms of when we look at Kalle Mwendo, he can play off the shoulder, really, number 9. That's what you would label him as. But Terrier, like I say, can play off the left, can play off the right, and can play as a centre forward. Predominantly a left winger, an inside forward, if you like. But if you look at, I'm not saying he's comparable to Salah, but everyone would say Salah's a forward, right? He's a right winger. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I remember when I did the video on person were giving me grief saying he's not a striker. Neither's Salah, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, he can play anywhere. Gives us a number of options and positions. Obviously, West Ham were interested in him as well. And like you say, Andy, this would be brilliant, wouldn't it? The Yorkshire Terrier, it just work. It just work, and also it would make Huddersfield jealous, wouldn't it? It made Huddersfield Town very, very jealous. Yeah, I should have had it anyway. So let's move on from Martin Terrier. We've done only Kalle Mwendo. I'm not convinced on Kalle Mwendo at this point. Would I like him? Yes. But I just think the fact that they haven't pushed the button on him yet, are they ever going to? Because they've had the chance to, haven't they? We've had the chance. Now let's talk about Shea Adams. Shea Adams links to Leeds United have resurfaced. Phil Hay did say, they cannot pretend they don't like him. Isn't it interesting how, all these signings were Victor's? Because even when Bielsa's not here, it's still similar names. So it's clearly Victor was big on these players. It wasn't just your man, Bielsa. So the club won't pretend that they don't like him. And they say, and Phil Hay obviously has some inside information, said Adams would only come onto the radar late in the window if other options fell away first. So who are them other options? Martin Terrier, Cali Moendo, and maybe Julian Quinones. He's playing in Mexico. He is Colombian. There was reports just the other day that apparently he is going to Leeds. I don't know how it would work from a work permit perspective as well. He doesn't play for his national side. He's playing in Mexico. Would he have the relevant points in order to get a work permit to come and play in Leeds? I don't know about that. I do not know about that. Big up the Holy Ghost. So I don't know about Quinones. Look, I had a lot of people actually who watched that league who said he's different, really. I know Tom Carndoff as well. I know Tom Carndoff as well said that or shared an image of a goal that he'd scored, and it was decent. It was decent. It was good. There you go. Andy said he heard he can't play in the Premier League, potentially not with a work permit issue. But again, he's another one that can play a number of positions. But I'm not too sure on him. Like I did the video, and then after the video, we got some more credible links, and then other people started speaking about him, and I was like, all right, okay, maybe there's more in it. But I think for me, Martin Terrier would be my number one spot. But I think Leeds United are playing their cards pretty close to the chest. It could be another player totally out of the ether that we're not even aware of. Just look at the way Luis Sinisterra happened. It happened like that, and within 24 to 48 hours, we knew he was coming to Leeds. Preferred option would be Terrier. More than happy with Shea Adams. I would be. I know that people would disagree with me. That's fine. That is totally fine. Let's talk about some of our attacking options at Leeds United. And of course, we're going to talk about Rodrigo. And I did this for those that requested yesterday on the watch along. This is for Rodrigo.
You stupid little plonker, Rodney. You stupid little plonker, Rodney.
I feel that we might use that quite a lot during the watch alongs, just in case you missed that.
You stupid little plonker, Rodney.
I was griefing him yesterday in the early parts of the watch along, but of course, he scored a hat trick yesterday. He scored a hat trick, did our man Rodrigo, and Leeds are keeping trust with him. Much like Firpo, he's their record signing. They believe he will come good, right? Rather than trying to offload him, this is what Phil Hay said. They're not trying to offload him. They're not trying to get rid of his wage. Because I'd said before, there's the potential that you could move him on for a small fee. Yes, you lose money, but also you're getting 100 grand a week off the wages. Do you know what I mean? 100 Karen Blanket. I love that from Jordan. Yeah, so, but I'm still not convinced. I am still not convinced. Ian Acho, be all over that. I'm still not convinced on Rodrigo, yeah? People are saying play it again, I will do.
You stupid little plonker, Rodney.
Don't worry, we'll hear it on Saturday when he misses a sitter. Don't worry about that. So they want to keep faith for Rodrigo. Time will tell whether or not that's the right decision. Yeah. In my opinion, regardless of him scoring a hat-trick against Cagliari yesterday, if an offer came in between 10 to 15 million pounds, I would accept it. Yeah. Jack. Leeds are trusting that their record signing will come good. Jesse Marsh has put a lot of faith in him. Has put a hell of a lot of faith in him, making him part of the leadership squad, continuing to persist with him. He has to repay that faith. His first goal yesterday was sick. He does have that in his locker, but, is it consistent enough? No. Does he turn up against the lesser sides? Yes. Do we need to see more of it consistently? Yes. And if we get that, I'll take my hat off and buzzing. But I was always thinking maybe if someone came in, but look, Leeds United are probably going to bat any offers away. Rodrigo is here to stay. And if he performs like he did yesterday, we'll take it. It is what it is. Leeds apparently have also batted offers away for Jack Harrison. It's been reported in France, not in England, so that take it with a pinch of salt. Not anything against the French. I'm just saying they're saying that we've had a bid rejected, but nothing's been reported in England. So I don't know about that one. But Jack Harrison, yeah, Newcastle have had a £40 million or €40 million bid rejected from Leeds United. That equates to 33 million. Now, if that's true, I would have thought. Sorry, I'm reading some of the comments. I would have thought they would have accepted it. I can't lie. 33 million, if that's true, I thought they would have accepted it. Apparently, it's been rejected, and Leeds want 47 million euros, which equates to 40 million. If Leeds United get offered 40 million for Jack Harrison, I can understand why they would take that. I'm surprised they haven't took 33, if indeed that offer is what it is. I doubt it. But let's say it is, then I'm surprised they've said no. I do think it would be criminal to sell him. I agree with you, Mott United. I agree with you, mate. I'm not advocating his sale here, but there'll be a point at which the club have to accept a bid because you have to sell them at top of the valuation where they are. But I do agree with you at this point, we can't afford to sell him. But that's what I'm saying. That shows you where I'm at with Rodrigo, because I'd accept Rodrigo and I'd take 10 to 15 million and get his wage off it. Do you know what I mean? But I do believe, like Patrick Gibbs said, yeah, it will be too much churning. It will be too much churning at this point. Michael's laughing his head off at the 40 million euro. But that's what's been reported. Apparently, we've not backed 33 million. If they want to pay 40 million for Harrison, you're taking that every day of the week, aren't you? You're taking that every day of the week. Now on to another player that probably will exit, and it pains me to say this, you know. It really does pain me to say it. I do feel his love affair with Leeds United fans has started to slide, which is such a shame because I'll remember him as always being up here. It is, of course, Matthias Klick. Okay, I love Matthias Klick. One of my favourite players in the Bielsa era, if not apart from your likes of Phillips. I love Matthias Klick. His shithousery, his balling ability, his goals in that first season, the chant, 30 yards, 40, you know, he just got it. He got it, right? And yesterday on the watch-along, I made the observation that, isn't it interesting that bench Leeds United had, which consisted of about 5 or 6 players, was all players on the periphery. Costa, Poveda, other young lads, and then Klick. And I was like, why is Klick there? Because the rest of the squad played yesterday. Right? And he didn't play. So straight away I'm thinking, right, what's going on that? Those that watch the watch-along will understand that. Then he was asked the question, and Jesse Marsh said, I like Klick. I like having him here, but Klick wants to be playing football in order to get to the World Cup. We know he is part of that. He's part of that Polish squad. Yeah, he is part of that Polish squad. Jesse Marsh did say he feels there's a role for him here. Yeah, he will play. Not a lot, but he'll play. But I think it comes down to the player's decision, and I think Matthias Klick probably should move on so that he can get to the World Cup. I don't want him to. Like, if he's happy not to go to the World Cup, stay at Leeds, bro. Stay at Leeds and you know, make up the numbers. But it's whether or not he wants to at that stage of his career. Matthias Klick's not getting any younger. Do I think he can still offer us something? Yes. Would I be starting him? No. Would I be bringing him off the bench at the first opportunity? No. But during a season, yeah, I mean, he's 32. He's 32. Does he believe if he moves to Germany, perhaps? I remember doing that walk that I did for charity, and there was talk that he was going to go to Germany. Obviously, he previously played at Wolfsburg, actually with Kevin De Bruyne as well. Could he go back to Poland? Yeah, potentially. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Matthias Klick. I don't want him to leave. For those, like Jody LUFC says, get Klick gone. Like, why? That's what I'll say, because we're not a huge squad. If he's happy to stay and be part of the squad and sit on the bench, I don't see the need to move him on. Now, I could understand if he's still playing first team week in, week out. I could understand you saying, we need to replace him. We need to replace him. But if he's sitting on the bench, it's cool. I think, anyway, personally, I don't want him to go. I don't think. I don't think he should go. And I'll be gutted when he does. I think those that are saying Bates should be coming in. Bates going to go to League One, mate. Bates apparently going on loan to League One. What's he done at the Prem? He's blocking the youth. I don't agree with you, Jordan. And the reason that I'm saying, listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Let's not forget, in that first season, Matthias Klick smashed it. People forget this and have short memories. Bielsa did a press conference and said that Matthias Klick could walk into a Champions League side. He was that good at that time. Let's not forget that. He was that good for a period of time in the Premier League as well. He said that. Do you know what I mean? So let's not just say he's been rubbish forever. Has he fallen off? Yes. Has his legs potentially gone? Is he the player that once was, that was lighting it up in the Championship? No. But what I'm saying is I don't see the need to say get gone. For me, if he wants to go to play first team football in Germany, in Poland, wherever he likes, in order to get to the World Cup, yeah, do it. But as a squad option, when you've got 5 subs, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And people that are saying, yeah, that's 2 years ago, that's 3 and 4. But let's not remember, I answered a question, which was, what's he done in the Prem? Not when, what's he done in the Prem? He had some decent performances in the Prem as well. I agree he's had his day. And people are saying that I'm living in the past. But he's not going to start. He's probably not going to be your first option off the bench. But if he's willing to sit on the bench, why do you want to move him on? People say we'll get cash for him. What? I don't think we will get an awful lot. I don't think we will get an awful lot. And I think you're being harsh. I do. I think the narrative on Klick changed overnight, and I think he's a good guy and a top player. And yeah, it is what it is. There you go. Anyway, that's me. I do have sentiment towards Matthias Klick, I can't lie. So maybe that's crowding my judgment, folks. Maybe that's crowding my judgment. And DPR 19, yeah, JB. I reckon Darko JB, yeah, play him. Play Darko JB. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, like, Klick on the bench is okay, man. Do you know what I mean? He's okay, and we should be okay with it. But you know me, I am a sentimental dude. You know? My man's coming in the chat here and saying we're haters. We're not even speaking about you. But thank you for subscribing to the channel. Yeah. You haven't got Fofana, you haven't got De Jong, and you haven't got Cucurella. So until they come in the door, speak to me. Because last time I checked, you tried to get Rafinha. Who does he play for? Not you. So until you get Fofana, De Jong and Cucurella, then come speak to me. Or is your new guy just bidding for players that are already on their way to other clubs? And therefore not going to get them done? Because I swear they tried to get De Ligt. Where's he playing? Bayern. Tried to get Rafinha. Where's he playing? Bayern. No, Barca. They want De Jong, but he's on his way to Man United. They want Cucurella, but he's on his way to City. So what are they doing? There's no method to Bowley's madness. You watch this season. Clip it up, Hakuna Matata. You will not get top 4. You will not get top 4. Then come back. Yeah? Then come back. Because last time I checked them players that you mentioned there, you haven't got. There we go, Leeds United. I was just going to speak about this person as well. Leeds United have reached full agreement with Crescencio Somerville to sign his new contract until 2026. It will be announced very soon. Fabrizio Romano does go on to say full agreement also with Sam Greenwood and Joe Gelhardt. Both will sign new contracts with Leeds United. There we go. That is from the man himself, Fabrizio Romano. There you go. Leeds United have reached full agreement with Somerville, signed new contracts until 2026, be announced very soon. Also, full agreement with Sam Greenwood and Joe Gelhardt, protecting that future. That is really, really good to see, right? Do I think Somerville will play for Leeds United in the Premier League and be a standout? You want my honest opinion? I don't. That's my honest opinion, and people disagree with me, and that's fine. That is fine. I'm telling you, man, this is why I don't know why they bother sometimes, mate. Bruh. I don't know why they bother, because it's easy. It's so easy. You know what I mean, my G? Yeah, anyway. Right, so we've done Click. I've got over Click. I promise you, I've got over Click. I promise you, I've got over Click. I think ultimately it'll come down to the player's decision. And if he wants to fight for his World Cup spot, he needs to leave. So we'll see. Harmony, I love that. I love that Harmony. Another Polish player, though, who the door hasn't quite shut on yet, which I'm quite surprised of, is Matthias Borges. Now, Matthias Borges was a top talent, coveted by a lot of big clubs. Matthias Click spoke, very, very well of on Matthias Borges in the past. I don't know about that, Geordie. Geordie says Somerville is massive, top potential run of games, and he could close in on Saka. I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's too lightweight for me, as Shane says. But we'll see. We'll see. I think he'll end up playing in Europe somewhere. But Leeds United are protecting their asset. I've been proved wrong before. I didn't fancy Greenwood, and now I like Greenwood. I'm not always right. That's why, football's, like an arsehole. Everyone's got one, right? Anyway, Matthias Borges, the door's not shut on him. I'm quite surprised because last season everyone was going, why aren't we playing Borges? Why aren't we playing Borges, right? And, he was playing in the third tier of Spanish football. So let's just remember that, right? There's levels. But Matthias Borges has come out and done an article with Graham Smith and said, I've heard rumours that they want to keep me because the new coach wants to have a look at me. Apparently, they've been approached by a number of clubs wanting to take him on loan in Spain. I know he's going through an injury at the minute, but obviously he could do rehabilitation elsewhere and then, play for whichever team that is. But apparently Leeds United want to keep him around. Matthias Borges may have a future at Leeds United. And I did like Matthias Borges. I remember the first season, we did predictions for the second season, and I said he would be the breakout star. And he played against Man United in pre-season in Australia, scored a goal, etc. But yeah, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. But the door's not shut on him yet. And then we've got an injury update for you as well, right? Bala says, would you like to see Jamal Lewis? I would take Jamal Lewis as well. I would take Jamal Lewis. Definitely Josh Wilson, Esbrand. Someone else mentioned someone earlier on who we could take on loan. You've even got Reguilon, Kennedy at Chelsea. I'd have said Nuno Tavares, just someone. Do you know what I mean? We need to fill a hole. There's a gaping hole there. And we've spoke about them wingers in the Premier League that will rip. And I love Stroud, but they will rip him. They will rip him. People say Paveda's clear. Paveda's done. I think. Anyway, injury front. Let's talk about the injury front. So Liam Cooper, who has been unable to play any of the friendlies, should resume training today. So will have been in training today. Let me ask you the question. Do you start him if he's fit on Saturday? Do you think Jesse will start him if he's fit on Saturday? I think he will. He's not like Bielsa in terms of making people back. I think he will start Liam Cooper. Because he's dependent. Listen, I'm a big fan of Cooper, but for me, I want to see continuity this season. I want to see Leeds United have a settled centre-back partnership. If that's Llorente and Koch, let it be Llorente and Koch. Yeah? If it's Strauch and Koch, let it be Strauch and Koch. It won't be Cooper and Koch because Cooper will not get through 38 games. Yeah? So for me, I want us to have continuity. We need to have a centre-back partnership. And I agree with Jordy, who says Koch and Cooper would be good. I agree. I would agree. I would definitely agree with that. But I just want continuity, and I'm not sure he'll be fit. I'm not sure he'll be fit enough. But if he does start, it won't bother me because I love Liam Cooper. Luis Sinisterra. Luis Sinisterra is due to return in a week or so. I think maybe Louis misses Wolves and Southampton. Maybe we get him back for Chelsea. But that's a lot sooner than we expected. Same with Adam Forshaw. And I know a lot of yous will say, been off Adam Forshaw as well, but I think him and Rocker really complemented themselves well in the game together. And I think Forshaw can do a job off the bench. If you're protecting a lead and you want someone to keep hold of the ball, he's your man. He's your man. Adam Forshaw and Luis Sinisterra are due to return in a week's time. Firpo and Luke Ayling are just a fortnight away, so a further 2 weeks. Firpo's your number one left back, whether you agree with it or not. Jesse said as much, so he'll be back soon. Luke Ayling won't play much. Won't play much. I'm not big on Cody Drama, I can't lie. I know he did well at Cardiff, but whenever I've seen him in the first team, he's flattered to deceive. I even thought in pre-season he worked the best. That's just my opinion. Maybe sometimes you make up your opinion on a player and it's hard to shake it, isn't it? But I'm not convinced. I think a lot of it was due to the fact he never passed to Click. And Click was in acres of space. As you can tell, I'm a massive Matthias Click fan. But I don't think Luke Ayling will play much. And to be honest, I'm still angry at Luke Ayling for getting that red card against Arsenal. It was silly. He's supposed to be a professional, one of the leaders at the club, and he did that. Crazy it was. And then that will only leave Stuart Dallas, who will be the long-term absentee. He'll be the long-term absentee. But we're almost close to full strength going into the season, into the first few weeks anyway, which is good, right? Look, thanks for watching. Over 600 people at times. Amazing numbers. Thank you. We've spoke about a lot. I will do a number of videos throughout this week. So please do subscribe to the channel. And of course, get your notification bell smashed. We've got midweek fix Wednesday. We've got Premier League preview Thursday. I've got a watch along on Friday. Connor, I do, man. Connor, people know this though, right? People know this. I'm an emotional guy. Some would call me a passion merchant. That's fine. That's fine. People say, just to answer this, Cooper should be captain. He's been captain and been on the bench before. He did under Monk, if you remember, when it was Kyle Bartley and Pontus Jansson a lot of the time. Cooper was still captain and was on the bench, yeah? I know Bartley took it when he was playing, but he was still the club captain. And the reason is because we're not privy, but everyone only ever speaks well of Liam Cooper. What he does behind the scenes cannot be underestimated. Do you know what I mean? Cannot be underestimated. He'll still be the captain. Who will be the future captain? I'm not sure. You could give it Rasmus, perhaps. Definitely Creswell when he comes back. That goes without saying. Big up Creswell, by the way. Look, it's been a great stream. I just wanted to get that all off my chest because there was loads to go through, and I was knackered yesterday after the watch along, so I thought I'd save it for today. If you want to watch the watch along highlights, please do. They're out, covering all the games. Some laughs in there as well. Some of you do feature. Thank you for watching. Loads to go. Listen, it's only the 1st of August. We've still got 31 days of the transfer window, right? So it's going to be going off. It's going to be going off. Smash a like on your way out. Enjoy the rest of your. I was going to say weekend. It all rolls into one. It's Monday, isn't it? Enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll see you very, very soon. USA, USA. I am going to get I'm going to get a Team America sound as well. Team America. This is the latest one for those that have missed it. This was by popular demand after Rodrigo yesterday.
You stupid little plonker, Rodney.
There you go. Enjoy the rest of your week and enjoy your Monday evening. Peace out, people. I love you all. Thank